welcome to my journey. Now, if you follow my channel, you have probably already seen my why I'm getting weight loss surgery video. In case you haven't, I'm gonna link it up here. I'm never sure which side. I'll try to link it below too. So you might want to see that first in case you wonder, why am I doing this? Why am I going to this measure? So that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're here to go through the steps that I have to take to get there. Just in case you're thinking about it, maybe it's something you're not sure of. I am not here. Let me stress this. I cannot stress this enough. I am not here doing this video to talk anybody into doing the same thing. This is just to let you know, hey, this is what I'm doing. That's what I do on this channel. I share my life, and this is my life as I know it right now. So that's why I thought I would bring you along and let you see what is going on in the process to get weight loss surgery. Now, I meant to film a little snippet after each visit or thing that I did, and it just didn't work out that way. I just got through with one of my visits. I did dress nicer than this. I come home to change because I've been to the Dollar Tree. What was I saying? Oh, so I'm going to tell you now, and then I will be trying to remember where I just went will be fresher in my memory, because y'all know how that is. Anyway, the first step is to get your initial consultation, to go and see the surgeon to see if it's even something you're interested in. Maybe when he explains it, you're like, oh, this is not for me. But it was very straightforward. You go in, of course, they get your height, which I have lost another inch. I am down to 5'6". My back is killing me. It is just doing me some injustice. I have always been 5'9" my whole life. That is 3 inches. So that's probably going to take some weight where I have to get even lower to get my knee surgery. I think it's a 50, I keep forgetting. I think it's a 50 BMI that you have to be at. And at 5'7", it was like 250. So at 5'6", I don't know, it might be like 240. I don't know. I'll have to see. But I went in, they took my height, my weight, and my weight when I got there was 315 and 5'6". So I qualify, just on that alone, I qualify to get the surgery. Just because you have your initial consultation does not mean you get the surgery. That just means you're there to give them information about yourself, about your history, your family history, your medical issues, surgeries you've had, all that kind of thing. And they're there to explain to you the different types of surgeries. There is if you hold on, I'll get my paper. There is, now, they do not do the adjustable band. It was even crossed out on my paper. Here's my paper. He said they take more of them out than they put in, so they don't even do that. There is the sleeve gastrectomy, which cuts off part of your stomach, but it stays in. They don't take it out. It just leaves a little pouch. Then there's the gastric bypass, where they don't cut your stomach off. They I don't know, it looks like it's sewn. I'll just use that, leave a little pouch and then direct part of the bottom stomach straight down. I don't know if it's I can't remember if it's straight to your colon, one of your intestines, and then another one I think is your intestine comes up to meet the pouch. And then there's the switch. This takes off part of your stomach and removes it and leaves just a small pouch and directs it 2 different ways. I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know the technical terms of all this. But he explained that. I don't remember it. So he explained all that. Then you go to the navigator. I don't know if she's called the case navigator. She's, hold on. She's the navigator. She's the one that gives you all the information, all the paperwork you need. She told me the steps I needed to take the appointments I needed to make. She gave me the paper that says the kind of diet you will be on, the 2-week diet before surgery. There's a pre-op diet that is very, very strict. She gave me the diet that you're on after surgery, and it's very strict. She gave me the sign-on for their website or their kind of like a My Chart situation where you can go on. I've got to go on and tell her that I've had this done today. And so she's the one, and she'll do your insurance. You can email her with any questions. She just does what she says. She navigates. She is there for you for any questions you have. So that is your first visit. Well, I won't say your second visit, because she set me up with the nutrition. You have to see a nutritionist. She set me up with the nutritionist before I left. That's the last thing I have to do. I've not been there yet. Then you have to get an upper GI. That's the first thing I did. I had to make that appointment myself. So I got that appointment made. I did everything as early and as soon. And let me see if my coffee's cooled off yet. It was so hot. I've been out and about, and I had to have some coffee when I came in. Y'all know me. It's still a little warm. So I had my upper GI. It's radiology. Does not hurt, but you have to drink. There's like 5 different things. So you get up on this little platform, and they put the big machine in front of you. You got a gown on. Put this big machine in front of you, and they have a screen over here so they can see what's going on. But the first thing you do is you drink like an Alka-Seltzer type thing, and they said that helps blow out your stomach, and I guess all up in here, I don't know. So you drink that first, and then they look at that, and then you have to drink. I can't remember which order it went in, because like I told you, I didn't do this right after it. There is a thick barium, a thinner barium, then there is I don't know what the liquid is. It's some other kind of liquid. The thick and the thin barium you drink standing up in front of that machine, and then they watch it go down. It coats, it does everything it's supposed to do. You drink the other one, then the whole table lays you back, and you lay it flat on your back. Well, then you have to roll from this side, but it was hard for me to do when I can't move my back and my knees. I had to roll on this side to coat my stomach with the barium, and roll back on this side to coat my stuff with the barium. Then you get to lay there on your side and drink another drink, and they watching whatever it does, and then they bring you back up, and they have you swallow a pill. They want to see how that pill goes down. So when it was all said and done, she asked me, did I have trouble swallowing pills or anything? I'm like, well, no, I don't have trouble swallowing pills, but I have trouble with bread and things like that. Bread gets stuck, which I'm having my colonoscopy and endoscopy the week before the nutritionist, or the week during the nutritionist actually. So that they're going to check that at that time. So there was nothing to that. The only thing she said is your poop might be white from the barium. It wasn't. But you have to drink a lot of liquids to flush it out of your system. So nothing to it. Didn't hurt. The barium, it wasn't something I'd volunteer to drink every day, but it didn't make me vomit. It didn't make me gag. It was flavored enough to where you get it down easily. So that was easy. So I got that done. Then the next thing was the psychological part. You have to go and have a psychological evaluation. Well, also because I see a psychiatrist, and y'all know that, she needed a letter from him if he would clear me or not. So I found out today from the psychologist that he got the letter, and it was a very good letter, spoke well of me, and he cleared me. I'm like, okay, great. That is a step. So what happened today was I talked to the psychologist probably an hour. He asked all kind of questions, like he even asked, like, what have you eaten today? So I told him what I've eaten today. Were you abused? The first question was, why do you want this surgery? What have you done in preparation? Have you done anything in preparation for this surgery? He asked an hour's worth of questions. And like I said, I can't remember them all. It was just an hour's worth of questions. Then I had to do this thing on the computer. It probably took me 45 minutes. I was there an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours. So kind of do the math. I talked to him longer than I took the test. The test, it was just questions. There's no right or wrong. You just answer them. 338 questions. They weren't questions. They were statements. I like to join a room where there's already a gathering of people. True or false? I have felt like committing suicide in the past. True or false? I would like to be a journalist. True or false? Those kind of questions. And 338 of them. So true or false on every single one. So it's T, F, F4. T or F, F4. 338 times. And he kept coming in and checking on me just to make sure I didn't have any troubles going on. Well, when I was doing it, at first I didn't see the little thing up top that said number whatever of 338. And he said, oh, you're making good progress. And I looked up to see, like, what was he looking at? And I saw it. I'm like, oh, there's 338 questions. He goes, I messed up, didn't I? I'm like, yeah, you did. He was such a pleasant man, such a pleasant man. And he asked, like, what's your biggest obstacle or biggest thing that you think has been in your way? And have you tried, what all have you tried? And stuff like that. And so and then, like I said, I took the test. And then when I was through, he said, let me go in there and print out your results. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm thinking that the way the questions are mixed up, that they have some kind of algorithm that certain questions answered a certain way fit on a graph, or it was looked like 5, 6, 7 pages long. He could look at it immediately and tell. He goes, well, I don't see anything major sticking out. You're kind of an introvert. I'm like, yeah, but here's the thing. It showed that I like to be alone. I'm like, I do. I would rather be alone than in a crowd of people. I said, but get beside me in a store and I'm going to talk your head off. He goes, I kind of get that from being here with you today. So he understood. He goes, I get it. And then here you go. He goes, well, from looking at this, talking to you, he goes, I have no problem clearing you. So I got clearance. I got clearance on the spot. He walked me out, and boy, it was windy when I went in. And you see, I tried to comb my hair over. It was raining. I mean, cats and dogs when I come out. And he walked me to the door, and I said, nice to meet you. It was a pleasant experience. And he said he was glad for that feedback. And he was very kind and very professional at the same time. Very personable, but very professional. And I said, and thank you for the clearance. He goes, no. He said, it wasn't me. He said, before you say that, that's what he said. He said, before you say that, and my heart in that second sunk. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's got to think something else before. He just said I was cleared, but he's got to clear it somewhere else. He goes, that wasn't on me. He said, that was all you. He said, you did that. So I'm like, oh, that feels so good to hear that I did that. It was, and I answered everything honestly. I didn't try to guess how he wanted to hear it, what I thought would be right. I answered it all honestly. And so that is the good part, that I got it on my own. So today I have had a face-to-face with the surgeon and my pre-op labs. For the face-to-face, he wants to do that after the gastric, not the gastric, I'm already getting ahead of myself, the upper GI, because like he told me in our initial consultation, the two I was going between, called the bypass and the switch, he said once he saw my upper GI results would give him a better idea of which one he thought would be the best. And so today we decided, he asked me, he goes, well, which one would you like? I'm like, the one that you think is better for me, because you're the doctor and you see that. He goes, okay, he thinks the bypass is the best. The bypass, and I don't know all the technical, don't know. I just know they take most all of your stomach out, leave you a pouch, and take it out. In the bypass, it stays in there, but it's all stapled up one way, and another way it's cut off very well. But it still is connected the way it stays connected. The bigger pouch, the bigger part is. And the smaller pouch, they bring part of your smaller intestines up and hook it into that. So your food goes straight from there into your small intestine, bypasses all the digestive juices and everything in the stomach, and then they meet up down there. This, I don't know all the particulars behind it, but he did say, and they don't understand why, it is excellent on diabetes. So I'm like, hey, if I can stop taking those 3 medicines, he goes, that's what we're aiming for. Stop taking a lot of these medicines. So we're going to go with the gastric bypass. And then I was lucky enough to get a lab appointment the same day while I was all over in that area of town. And she took 10 vials. I ain't never had 10 vials of blood taken in my life. She was over there. She was reading the orders and she was picking them out. She kept doing that. And I'm like, what are you doing? And she goes, yeah, there's a lot. I said, how many are there? She said, 10. I'm like, oh my gosh. So we tried one place. She didn't like any of my veins. Y'all know I had this thing about in the prick of my arm, I can't do it. But I told her today, I said, if I'm going to have surgery, they're going to have to take it from wherever. They got time to mess with me. So just do whatever you want. I just held my arms out. And she looked. She didn't see nothing she liked, because I have these little veins, and they're just terrible veins. Well, she found one up here, and she goes, I'm going to tell you. She said, it's going to blow. I can tell. And sure enough, it blew. She looked and looked. Finally, she's popped. I mean, she tied that thing around my wrist. I said, boy, you got that thing tight, don't you? She goes, if I could stretch it out further, I'd get it even tighter. She started smacking my hand. She goes, oh, I kind of like the looks of that one. She was getting excited because she had looked everywhere. Nothing was popping up. So she got another little girl who's trained to come over there and help her, because she wanted to make sure that needle stayed in that vein. None of this rolling around business, because the veins are so small. So she drew the blood, and the blood just poured. I don't think my blood has ever poured that good. It just knew it needed to today. So she actually got more blood out than she needed. I'm like, hey, I'd rather have extra than not enough. So we were able to get the blood drawn. So that's all that is today. Now, the only thing I have left is they need to get the psychological eval in their office. He's cleared me, but he's got to get his report over to him. And then my nutritionist visit, which is not until a month from now. And then once they get that, then they'll be ready to submit it to insurance. And then I don't know when it's after that. I don't know what the time frame is, but we're getting the ball on the show on the road. What am I thinking? The ball on the... What am I trying to say? Have I lost my mind? I don't know. We're getting it going. The ball rolling. That's it. Listen, it'll be all right. So next up you see me, unless something comes in between now and then, I guess will be the nutritionist visit. So stay tuned.